So we're in the webinar. Commissioner Padro is a panelist.
I don't know what it's doing.
The time is 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, April 10th, and it looks like we have a quorum, so we will go ahead and get started. I will call this meeting of ANC 2G to order again at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, April 10th, 2025. First, Secretary Nicole, could you please take the roll call?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. Chairman McCarty, are you present?
Here.
Chairman Nigro?
Here.
Chairman Garrett, sorry, Commissioner Nigro and Commissioner Garrett, apologies.
Present.
All good.
Commissioner Padro
Present.
and Commissioner Barry. I don't believe she's present.
We do have a quorum, so we will continue conducting our business. First on the agenda is the consent agenda. So the consent agenda includes the approval of our agenda, the approval of March meeting minutes, and the approval of the March treasurer's report. I do know, Commissioner Nigro, Treasurer, you wanted to speak to the treasurer's report before we approve that? Nope.
Getting ready to flash it on the screens. Oh, but you did it before me. So yeah, again, this is what's in our bank currently, $23,080.97. We did receive an allotment of $4,011.43, and then there is just that one check to Karen Ely that she cashed. That is all.
Any commissioners have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Motion is moved by Commissioner Padro, seconded by Commissioner Garrett. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approval of the consent agenda respond with aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Any
Wait, was I supposed to wait? Was I supposed to add about we're going to talk about 501 at the end though? We can do that at the end.
Or you can do that in announcements. Seeing no, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, and we will begin our community forum. First up, we'll invite over our officers from the Metropolitan Police Department to give us our public safety updates. I see Lieutenant Herring here, so I'm going to move him over so he can share recent reports. Thank you for being here, Lieutenant Herring.
Good afternoon, everybody. Lieutenant Herring here. Can everybody hear me now? Anybody hear me now?
Yes, we can.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Somebody can hear me. Some people can't hear me. Some people cannot hear me.
We can hear you, Lieutenant.
Okay. All right. Lieutenant Herring here, 3rd District, PSA 308. And getting to go with the crime briefing. So in reference to the since the last meeting, there were a couple of violent crimes throughout the ANC. One was an assault with intent to kill. that took place at 901 Els and Lincoln Street, Northwest. It had domestic overtones for that incident. Between basically it's called, I guess, a love triangle of sorts. That's going to be a closed case. That was closed that night. There's going to be another assault with intent to kill, 1209 number 7th Street Northwest. That case remains open. Believe it was 3 individuals that night were struck by gunfire at that location. And then there's going to be a robbery at 8th and P as in Paul, Northwest, that took place on the 28th, March 28th. Started off as a road rage incident, devolved into involving a bicyclist and a vehicle. A passenger of the vehicle eventually exited the car at 8th and P as in Paul and snatched the cell phone from the complainant. That car, by the way, had been used in a few other robberies and was eventually recovered on April 4th in the 3900 block of Georgia. And then the last serious crime was another robbery. Pull up that information in a moment. Bear with me, please. They said, "Oh no, get her out of there. She's not doing that." Let me fight back these tears. So in that robbery, that was at 1614 number 6th Street Northwest. How you get 6? I know she used to work over there. Okay. Individual struck by an unknown object while on it looks like he was on a food delivery, riding his electric bike on a food delivery. Struck from behind by an unknown object. The suspects went through his pants pockets. Excuse me, went through his pants pockets and backpack, taking a cell phone and two cell phones, and that case remains open at this time. And that's about it to a report about reference to a violent crime in the last month or so. Anybody on the panel, anybody in the community have questions? Well, what may or may not be, what may be going on in the community? I'm lost for words.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Any commissioners have any questions, please? Commissioner Nigro.
So Lieutenant Herring, you probably recall what happened about 10 days ago, or maybe around that. I'm losing track of time these days. But the violent one-way crash on the 400 block of M Street. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I've sent you an email.
Yeah, but so let me ask you that, and I appreciate that. Is that block is just a traffic violence nightmare as we know. So I don't know, and I'm asking on behalf of all of my constituents, is there anything that you can do, MPD force, beyond, I mean, we're going to talk to DDOT, we've got DDOT stuff going on. What can MPD do to help with any sort of enforcement on that block? Because it's, as we know, is the on-ramp for the highway. And this was such a wacky, horrible thing that it could have been deadly.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, police department can go out there, and I can direct my officers to respond out there and enforce traffic. But once again, it's okay. We can't be everywhere at all times, so on and so forth. However, officers can go out there and enforce traffic. Slow people down. People typically, once they see siren lights out there, they do slow down. Now, given the time of day, I don't know what this individual's state of mind was, considering when this happened. As I recall, it was kind of early in the AM. So
no, it was 11:30 at night.
Okay, all right. I'm thinking of something else.
No, it was wacky.
But you never know what this person's state of mind was. That's to say, I don't know if they were operating under the their full faculties. But once again, it is under investigation by the hit and run coordinator here at the 3rd District. And my understanding is he is a very thorough investigator.
Okay, so I can follow back up with that person. I'm not familiar
Correct.
with that person, right?
I sent you I thought I included his name in the
I
email.
think, okay, so I'll follow back up with him, but we
Okay.
just, on behalf of that was insane. that
And once
night.
again, I can't direct the officers to handle more enforcement. And we do have traffic cars on the overnight now. So I can direct the car to go there and handle some more traffic enforcement in that general area.
And is there a beat cop on any? Did we ever get like anyone walking around these days and anywhere in ANC 2G?
Foot patrols,
Yeah.
that is not the we do have some foot patrols used by the department, but I don't believe there's as far as I know, there's not a foot patrol in that area.
Just double checking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Lieutenant. Any other commissioners with questions for Lieutenant Herring? Please raise your hand. I also want to read into the record that we have Commissioner Berry joining us at 6:40 p.m. ET. Thank you. Welcome, Commissioner Berry. Seeing no further questions from commissioners, I will open it up to the public. If you are participating in the public, please raise your hand if you'd like to be recognized and ask a question of MPD.
I'm going to jump in to share that Josh in the comments has shared foot patrols were actually hugely helpful back in the day. It greatly decreased crime on 7th Street Northwest.
Thank you, Josh. Any other folks want to ask questions of MPD? Seeing none, we will continue our public forum, and thank you, Lieutenant Herring,
Thank you
for
now.
sharing your updates with us.
Yes. Have a good night. Good to see
You
you.
too. Next, we will move to the mayor's office. And so I'll bring over Ty, our Ward 2 Moker, to share updates with all of us. From Mayor Bazin. Ty, take it away.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Ty Abilla. I'm the Ward 2 manager with the mayor's office. I'm transitioning between events, so my apologies for not being as prepared as I would like and having my camera on. But I just wanted to share a couple quick updates with you. And there are a lot of updates specifically from our office, and I'll go ahead and send Chairperson McCarty the full deck of that presentation. And if you would like to receive that presentation personally, whether as a commissioner or a member of the community, I'll drop my contact information in the chat so that you all can just send me an email, and I'll be more than happy to share that with you. But to get into a couple of updates, just wanted to send out a friendly reminder about our Emancipation DC Parade, which is going to take place this Sunday, April 13th at 2 p.m. If you are interested in participating and also interested in walking alongside the mayor, please let me know, and I want to make sure that we get you all registered. We will be meeting between 9th and 10th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue, and we will start at 2 p.m. So I would say if you are expected to walk, to be there no later than 1:30. Next, I want to go ahead and transition into our 8th annual spring cleanup, which will take place at French Park. That's going to be at Saturday, April 19th at 10 a.m. And the address for French Park is 941 French Street Northwest. And so this is an opportunity for the community members to come together. There's going to be a community cleanup in each designated ward within DC simultaneously. So for the location specifically for Ward 2 is going to be French Park. So if you have any follow-up questions, please let me know. But we definitely would love for you all to come out and participate. I know the office is working towards potentially solidifying a collaborator or some activation specifically with that location. So again, definitely something to look forward to. For those who are familiar with the T Street Task Force, as you may know, the last meeting was canceled. There was an internal government meeting just to talk about the focuses and preparation on how they plan to move forward with conducting those meetings. And the next meeting will take place May 1st. And so, if that is a meeting that you're interested in being a part of, please let me know. I know we have members of the commission who take part in those meetings. So again, if that is something of interest, please feel free to contact me. And also wanted to share, I had a wonderful walk with Chairperson McCarty a few weeks ago. So we're working towards addressing a lot of those issues and concerns that were raised, specifically whether it's DDOT related issues, DPW related issues, and then also some DGS related issues as it comes to 10th Street Park. And I think at this time, that's all I really have in terms of updates. Like I said, I do have a full deck presentation with loads of resource information and upcoming events and celebrations. So I definitely want to make sure I get that over to people or those who are interested in having that information.
Thank you, Ty. Commissioners, any question for Ty from the mayor's office? Commissioner Nigro, go ahead.
Hey, Ty, listen, I haven't gotten an answer yet from DPW about if there's gonna be like a kind of an opening for the New Jersey and O Street Park. Supposedly it's completed, but I've talked to Tommy, I've emailed Tom and Chris. I just need to know. I mean, people are asking me, I'm like, I don't know. So, and this is in Nicole's area, are we gonna have a little opening, or are they just gonna fling the doors open, or what's going on?
Understood. So I'll definitely follow back up with you. I actually was in that area, I want to say maybe a week or two ago, and myself was uncertain whether it was fully completed or if there was additional, parts that we're still waiting to have done. So let me go ahead and follow up with that, and I hope to have an answer for you by tomorrow in terms of, the status of it, if it's fully completed, and if there's going to be some type of recognition or ribbon cutting or just some type of acknowledgement of it being open.
Because apparently the gate's been open.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
don't
yeah,
know.
I could definitely confirm that for you. And like I said, my plan is to at least have an update for you around that by tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Commissioner Nigro. Commissioner Padro?
Try just a correction. The correct name of the park that the cleanup is starting at is French Street Park. There was a mistake when the signage was originally installed, but the correct name of the park is French Street.
Yes, that's correct. And thank you for acknowledging that and making that correction. Yes, it's French Street Park.
Thank you, Commissioner Padro. Commissioner Shea?
Thank you. Ty and Commissioner Nigro, were you just talking about the park that's at 7th and R Street, the opening for that?
For the New Jersey park?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, no, sorry. Thank you. I
Okay.
thought you might have been talking about there's the one that was I'm forgetting the name of it right now. The park that's at 7th and R Street. There is going to be kind of a second ceremony of some sort there this spring, but I don't know the details of that quite yet.
Understood. Yeah, and no worries. Yeah, this one specifically was around the New Jersey
Okay.
Ave and O Streets Park.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely would love more information about that too. And I want to make sure I can get it out to the residents as well.
Okay, I'll look into that for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Shea. Any other commissioners have questions for Ty from the mayor's office? Seeing no more questions from commissioners, we'll open it up for public discussion. Are there any members of the public on the other line that would like to ask a question of the mayor's office? Please raise your virtual hand. Seeing no questions from the public, we'll let you off the hook, Ty. Thank you so much for being with us tonight and sharing that information.
You're very welcome, and I'll go ahead and drop my information in the chat. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Next, what was that, Commissioner Garrett? Oh, thanks. Thank you. Next, we will pull over Michaela Gasper from Ward 2 Councilmember Brooke Pinto's office to give us a presentation on behalf of our council member. Michaela, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. One sec.
Michaela,
Yes,
you're are you ready to share an update from the council member's office?
I am. My apologies. I just had to pull up my screen. Are you able, is everyone able to see that?
We are not.
Give me 1 second, okay? How about now?
There we go.
Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michaela Gasper. I am one of Councilmember Pinto's new constituent services coordinators. Thank you all for joining us at this ANC meeting. Now, as we get started with the agenda, I want to dive into our budget update. We hope that the U.S. House takes up the Senate's bill allowing D.C. to spend the $1 billion in our FY25 budget this week. It is currently unclear if they plan to do so. Residents are encouraged to contact members in both parties to urge them to support this critical bill allowing us to spend our own approved tax dollars on our own congressionally approved budget. This entire debacle has delayed the FY26 budget process. The mayor had planned to submit her proposed FY26 budget to the council last week, with hearings beginning this week, but the schedule is now delayed. I think it will be a little longer than a few days, but we will see. We will see soon. A legislative update. 2 weeks ago, the council held a hearing on Councilmember Pinto's bill to ban cell phone use during the day at DC schools. 70 witnesses participated. She is hopeful this will come up for a vote with the committee of the whole soon. In addition, 2 weeks ago, Councilmember Pinto introduced her Peace DC plan to continue to drive down crime and promote peace in DC. This plan is a combination of legislation, funding priorities, and strategies that she hopes will build on the success of her Secure DC legislation from last year. It encompasses a lot, and I won't go through everything now, but I will post a link to the full press release in the chat. Peace DC targets 4 main areas. The first is empowering young people and strengthening neighborhood harmony. A new bill will create a program to pair a trusted adult with youth who are deferred from prosecution or incarceration by the Office of the Attorney General. It will also add guardrails if the youth do not comply with terms of their deferred prosecution agreements. It would strengthen training and coordination of our Safe Passage program, including the more de-escalation training. It calls for funding the expansion of the DHS truancy pilot program, where a student with 15 full-day absences can be referred to DHS. The program is currently only for high schools, and this would expand to middle schools. Continued funding for access to justice grants, which give legal support to low and moderate income residents who are facing eviction or unemployment. And the Safe Commercial Corridor grants. Public hearing on the Case Closure and Witness Support Act to explore improvement to how we assist witnesses. Oops. The second area is preventing violence. Councilmember Pinto is proposing merging our violence interruption agencies that are currently under 2 separate agencies, OAG and WONS. The merger will be under WONS to strengthen the efficiency and efficacy. The proposal will also standardize training, change the focus to high-risk individuals rather than wards, and will enhance oversight of the ethics and accountability of the program, including using metrics to evaluate how effective the programs are. Secure DC expanded the rebuttable presumption to apply to all charges of crimes and violence, meaning judges have to explain decisions to allow for pretrial release in such cases. This calls for making that permanent. Peace DC also calls for continuing support for hospital-based violence interruption, which is critical to reducing retaliatory shootings and ensure gunshot victims are getting service at all hours. Sorry. The third area is supporting public safety workforce, including bills to improve police, fire, and correction officers, retention and recruitment. As we look to train more NPD officers, there is a new NPD Academy College Credits Bill to allow NPD recruits to earn required college credit through their academy classes. That will allow us to stay competitive with neighboring jurisdictions. And the fourth area is about setting people up for success after they complete incarceration sentences by allowing DC residents incarcerated around the country to finish their sentences locally so they can begin to reconnect with family and services they will need when they are released. It also calls for housing, financial, and employment opportunities for returning citizens so they can start their lives on the right path upon release. Again, I'll post the link in the chat with all various parts of the DC Peace Plan. And hearings on peace will be held on April 23rd and April 24th. The roundtable on the Violence Interruption Program merger will be on April the 28th. We also expect to have budget hearings and will discuss budget proposals and peace for each agency under her purview. Now that we're coming to the end of our PowerPoint, I want to inform everyone that Councilmember Pinto will be hosting an Earth Day cleanup in Shaw, starting at Seaton Elementary School at Q and Rhode Island Avenue Northwest this Saturday, April the 12th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That is all for me, and I'm happy to answer any questions or comments.
Thank you, Nikayla. Any commissioners with questions, please raise your hands. Commissioner Nigro, the floor is yours.
Hey, Nikayla, quick question. I mean, I just want to kind of ask a high level question about it's Peace Plan. Is that the official name?
Yes.
Okay. So when I saw the list of the programs, and I think they're fantastic, right? Don't get me wrong. Great. Right. But I wonder if some of those would maybe be redundant with current programs with DOES or the Office of Returning Citizens. I don't know. So that's just my just one bullet point. If someone really drilled down to what is currently being offered, and then you have there's this new stuff.
Well, thank you for that. I don't have a specific answer for you now, but I'll be sure to pass that along to the council member and the team and ensure that I'll follow up with you as soon as possible.
Okay, great.
Commissioner Garrett.
Thank you so much, Nikayla, for being here this evening with us. I just have a quick question. I heard that there is a informational or meeting on the 28th of April regarding the merging of the violence interrupters. What is the time, date, location of that? Is that virtual? Do you have information on that meeting?
I do not have information at the moment, but I'll be sure to provide that information to you or have it.
Please, thank you. I look forward to hearing from you.
Okay.
Commissioner Barry.
Okay, sorry about that. Hi, Nikayla.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So I had a few questions. Definitely to echo what Commissioner Nigro spoke about. One of the parts that I'm really concerned about is with the, with some of the programs in DC, you have to have committed a crime. And I think one of the things that I think residents and the city needs is that you not have to have committed a crime in order to receive help and mentorship. So like, I know you said that it's only high school, but with crime reports, we noticed before when Council Member Pinto was trying to pass the DC Safe bill, the crime bill last year, is that a lot of the people who were committing crimes were much younger than high school. So what I think would be most effective is if there was a bill that targeted kids before they received a charge or indicted or had some type of criminal history in order for them to get help. Because a lot of times there are a lot of signs, there's suspensions, there's fights, there's all types of signs. And I think that that would be important for Councilmember Pinto to look into that, as well as going back to another measure that you mentioned was about the cell phones. I know I spoke about this another time when this first got brought up a few months ago in January about her getting rid of cell phones in schools, but I want to encourage her to do more than just have people testify, but to actually do actual community engagement with parents who are in the schools who will need to enforce this in order for it to be effective. Other than that, it's going to be chaos. I have 3 daughters in school. I'm telling you something. I'm telling you something real and something that could be helpful in creating something that could be useful to DCPS schools. So I would like for you to pass that information on to Councilmember Pinto, and that's only to help strengthen what I think she's trying to do in the community.
Thank you for that, and I'll be sure to do so.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Barry. Any other commissioners with questions for Nikayla from Councilmember Pinto's office? Seeing none, we will open the floor for public comment. Nikayla, I did have a chat come in that asked if you could remind folks how to sign up for the Earth Day cleanup again.
Yes, so I posted a link in the chat. They can go ahead and click the link for the Earth Day cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. It's going to be from 11 to 1 p.m. And again, they can go ahead and click that link.
Thank you, Nikayla. And if you're on the public side and you would like to ask Nikayla a question for Councilmember Pinto's office, please raise your virtual hand so we can recognize you. Anthony, I'm going to permit you to speak. Go ahead.
Hi, yes, good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I looked a little bit deeper into the peace plan, and I do echo some of the comments that other council members have mentioned. Specific to the B26-187 part of the plan, which is to allow MPD officers to use 15 of the required hours of training to be able to get, I guess, like college certifications or college credits. I kind of was lost on the purpose of this. I think that recently, since 2020, we've kind of had a focus on MPD officers creating relationships in their community. And I feel like this would be taking away from that value that we have established with our MPD officers. So I'd like to see if you can take that back to Ms. Pinto to see if that could be reconsidered as an additional requirement instead.
Well, thank you for that, and I'll be sure to follow up with my team about that.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Nikayla. Are there any other folks from the public that would like to ask questions? Please raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll let you off the hook, Nikayla. Thank you so much for your updates.
Thank you. Nice meeting everyone.
Thank you. We'll see you next month. Next up, we will have updates from Events DC. So I'm going to pull over Solana. Solana, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Solana Vandernet. I am the Senior Manager of Community Engagement for the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. I'm happy to serve as a connection point between you and Events DC. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'll put my contact information in the chat. As a reminder, to learn more about Events DC, our programs, initiatives, and other opportunities, visit eventsdc.com. If you haven't already done so, please sign up for our electronic mailing list and follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'll put this information in the chat as well. Regarding the April event calendar for the remainder of this month, we have 12 upcoming events at the Convention Center, 7 single days and 5 multi-days. On Friday, April 25th through the 26th, the Oncology Nursing Society Annual Congress will be with us at the Convention Center with an estimated attendance of 9,000. Regarding upcoming events, next week is full of different opportunities for the community to come and have a great family experience. Next Wednesday, April 16th, join Events DC at Day of Play at RFK. This is a free community-oriented afternoon of games, food, and music for families and guests of all ages. The event coincides with the District of Columbia's public schools spring break and offers children and adults the opportunity to participate in organized activities and sports and enjoy complimentary food, beverages, and live entertainment. This event is free. All youth must be accompanied by an adult over the age of 18. I will put the link in the chat for further information. And if you don't have time to register in advance, you can also register on site. And then 2 days after, on Friday the 18th, join us again at the Jordan Brand Classic DC Tip-Off Community Experience from 1 to 4 next door to Care First Arena at Sycamore and Oak. Experience pre-game festivities, including food, drinks, music, art, and activities for kids, and the iconic Hoop Bus. This DC Tip-Off Community Experience is free as well and open to the community while supplies last. And that registration link is eventbrite.com/e/Jordan Brand Classic DC Tip-Off Community. I'll share that link too. And then finally, we are excited to welcome back Passport DC. Passport DC offers a month-long journey that showcases the city's thriving international diplomatic community and diverse culture. The event is celebrated annually in May during International Cultural Awareness Month and offers programs by embassies and some of DC's very best cultural institutions. Thousands of people enjoy the popular embassy, open houses, the street festivals, performances, exhibitions, workshops, and more. So don't miss out on the opportunity to explore the global trace that makes DC a unique destination. And you can find all this information and more as it is published on eventsdc.com/passportdc. Thank you for letting me join this call, and please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Solana. Commissioners, please raise your hand if you have questions for Solana and Events DC. Commissioner Nigro.
So Solana, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of the tiny stores on 9th Street, but do you have any update if any of those tiny stores, those retail shops are going to open up anything currently?
Well, to give you the most up-to-date regarding the retail kiosks, those tiny spaces you're speaking about, of course, we know Gentleman's Closet is open daily. Our contractor has been approved to begin the build-out process for one of the kiosks, and then for the leasing consultants that we've hired, they are going to be looking into to leasing those 2 unoccupied spaces.
Oh, so wait, that's an update then. So when
Yeah.
are you talking about so who's left?
Gentleman's Closet, and then the
Okay, so
other 2 remaining, those are, we procured a leasing consultant to lease out the other 2 spaces.
But there's 3. There was coffee, smoothie, and then there was pizza. There was 3
Right.
others.
Right, so no, there was Bridge Coffee House.
That's the coffee, then the smoothie
Yep.
place,
Yeah.
and then the pizza place. So there's
So-
3 others.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not, so then I guess when they sent me this, they meant to say the 3, because right now it's just a Gentleman's Closet. I believe they have a tenant for the one that is that's beginning the build out process for
Who's
one of
that?
the kiosks. I don't know yet. I don't have that information. And then the other 2, those are the ones that we procured, like I said, to the leasing consultant to have those unaccompanied spaces.
So you're saying the one that has the build out is one of the original 4?
Yes,
So we don't know which one that is.
I do not know.
Could you find out?
Sure.
Because this is intriguing to me. As we know. It's been years. I talked to that pizza guy now years ago.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm glad I asked. Look, we got an update.
Thank you, Commissioner Nigro. Commissioner Padro.
So on that same topic, Solana, so what you're saying is that 2 of the 4 tenants that had received leases for those kiosks have had their leases terminated, or they have terminated the leases?
Yeah, again, I don't have those exact details. The strategic initiatives teams, they lead that charge. And again, I'm not sure what happened, but there will be people occupying those unoccupied spaces. When
If you could
they
follow
find
up,
that.
I think we'd all like to find out what happened there, because I know that there was a protracted period where those tenants were unable to move forward with occupancy because of the need for plumbing to be brought to their spaces, and then there was a waiver that was being considered so that they could occupy them without, a water service and bathrooms, and bathrooms inside the center was supposed to be accessible to them, and so now 2 of them are gone. So
Yep.
I think we need to know exactly what happened there.
Okay. I'm happy to follow up with that team and then we'll report back to you guys.
So is your leasing team going to have run into the same problem, or are they going to say no more food and beverage because we now have learned our lessons about the bathrooms?
I think that is, I mean, we're moving forward. All I can speak of is again that we are hiring the consultants to lease out those spaces, and then they can,
Should be a
one step
micro
at a
bar
time. Right.
that I thought of years ago that y'all stole my idea and didn't do anything with it. Micro bar, just like Japan.
Ooh,
You
now
could
that's forward thinking.
Any other
I
questions?
took my idea because I actually have the Twitter, but that's okay. I'll bring that up tonight on Twitter again.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other questions from the commission? Seeing none, we'll open the floor for public comment. Are there any members of the public that would like to ask questions of Solana and Events DC? If so, please raise your hand. Doesn't look like we have any questions, so thank you for joining us, Solana, and we look forward to your follow-up on the kiosk progress.
Great, thank you. I'll send that email to you guys. I'll send that out tonight to the team. And so as soon as I hear back, I'll follow up.
Thanks, Solana.
Thank you.
Now we will move into our business agenda, and first on that agenda is 935 N Street Northwest. This is in single member district 2G04.
Stephen.
Yes.
Are we going to do announcements or when is that?
Yes, I'm so sorry. You're correct. Are there any announcements from advisory neighborhood commissioners? Please raise your hand. Commissioner Padro.
Okay, you got to hand up first. Okay, I'll go next.
Thank you. Yes, in addition to the cleanup that was mentioned previously, that will be taking place on the 12th. I'm sorry, on the 19th, that is run by Councilmember Pinto, and the cleanup that is being organized by the mayor. On the 19th, there's also going to be a second cleanup on the 19th. It's going to be focused on the block that includes the 1500 block of 9th and 10th Street, and the 900 block of Q Street and Rhode Island Avenue and P Street. And that's going to start at 11 a.m. on the 19th in front of Shiloh Baptist Church's Henry C. Gregory III Family Life Center. We're going to be planting daylilies to help to beautify the neighborhood. So if you'd like to join and roll up your sleeves and help to plant those daylilies, just come out on the 19th, 11 a.m. With your gloves and your tools, and plants and soil and mulch will be provided. In addition, Eat Drink Shaw, the neighborhood's food and beverage showcase, will be taking place on the 17th of April at the Howard Theater, starting at 7 p.m. Information is available at eatdrinkshaw.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Padro. Commissioner Nigro.
Okay, so I don't want to go down the jail at 501 New York Avenue rabbit hole and try and be as brief as possible. So I sent the commissioners an update concerning 501 New York Avenue and the latest action that we have taken. So the order came out, and then we have asked for a reconsideration from BZA. So that is out there, and BZA responded back with an actual date. So I was frankly a little surprised. I was shocked by that, but there it is. And then the opposition, which is the government, the Department of General Services, has a rebuttal. So says that they shouldn't be reconsidered, but the BZA has not spoken yet if they're going to consider their rebuttal. So that is out there. Now, moving forward, I have also asked Kent and Stephen has seen these emails about funding for future action. And so he seemed to be okay with this reconsideration action, but if it goes to the courts, there were still some questions and it was like leaning towards, wouldn't you say no, Stephen? Yeah, but then there were some further questions that had to be asked, like, was this in writing? So I'm just basically a statement to you guys is that I will be asking the Office of ANC to re-examine their policy because of how he phrased it, etc. So that's it for going to future action, which would be the courts. And there you go.
Thank you, Commissioner
Does that
Knight.
explain it well, Stephen? I think so. For what is at the moment, and it's in motion. We're fluid with this. So, and our lawyer is very well aware of those constraints and all that. So I'm very transparent with her and say this is the deal. So, any questions?
Commissioner Nigro,
Jail.
any questions? Okay, thank you. Any other updates from commissioners? Anyone on the public side would like to share an update, please raise your hand. We can give you a brief moment to share a community update. Seeing none, we will now move into our business agenda. And first on our business agenda is 935 N Street Northwest. They are requesting support for design changes to an approved BZA application number 21183. This is in single member district 2G04, and the Advisory Neighborhood Commission supported this project last year when it was originally before the BZA, and the committee, our Historic Preservation and Zoning Committee, also expressed support for this project for the commission as well. So I know we have Gozday here, and is there anybody else that should be presenting with Gozday? Please raise your hand.
And there's no one else that needs to be, hold on. Can you
Okay,
hear me? Yeah. Okay.
you can. Thank you, Gozday.
Thank you, everyone. Just as Stephen has given an introduction to this project, we presented about last year on this project for a two-family dwelling property. Can I share drawings?
I believe you should have permissions.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
you can't,
Mm-hmm. Okay. It took me a minute. Can you see the drawings right now?
yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. So we presented last year for two-family dwelling on this site. It's actually represented on the right side of this page on this comparison chart. When this was being done, we had, when we first started the project, just very briefly, we were renovating Henrietta, and this lot was a part of Henrietta at the time. And when we were talking to HPO staff regarding this project, they brought it up to my attention that this lot was a separate single-family lot. Precedent, lots of drawings and maps have existed, base map and other maps have existed regarding that. So they said they would be in support of this project if we did do, a project on this site, a two-family dwelling, given the fact that we would have to do a garage and a carriage house on the rear side of the property, which is looking at the Naylor Court. Having said that, we still keep that in this new scheme, but I correct myself. The left side is the original scheme and the right side is the revised scheme. So when we had this single-family dwelling in the front side of the property, we had a garage on the rear side of the property with a dwelling on top of the garage, and you would have to go 2 stairs below to the underground level for cellar level bedrooms for the second unit at the rear side, looking over to Naylor Court side. after we passed through BZA and submitted a permit plan, the ownership decided to discuss with the realtors on for today's economy how these units would sell, how much these units will sell. And the realtors finally came in and they said, well, look, you know, you would cut the cost of this project tremendously if you eliminated the entire cellar level and just treated this site as not two-family dwelling, but just a single-family dwelling property. So then at that point comes our lawyers, attorneys come into effect, Meredith. And Meredith went to Kathleen Beaton and the zoning administrator and asked this question, look, you know, we want to make these changes represented in this drawing here, drawing set. Certain changes are, you know, we asked for these reliefs and or variances in the BZA. How would that look like, you know, for the approval of this property? And Kathleen said, look, there are significant changes here. However, if ANC is okay with it, I would be approving this on the staff level at the zoning administrative level. And you wouldn't have to go to BZA to present this again, because essentially it is a single family or a one, you know, it's reducing its size in certain aspects. So I'll just walk you through these. We had a connector between two front structure and the rear structure in the original layout. The reason for that was in RF1 zoning district, in order to do two structures on the site, you need to have a connection on the first level, which is you know, climatized and conditioned space. So that's why we had this connector on this layout. But if we are single family dwelling, then all we have to do is treat the rear structure as an accessory building. Granted that there is no leasable space on upper level, it's just going to be not as a secondary ADU dwelling unit, but it's just a studio space above. So one family owns both, you know, owns the entire lot. They would need a connector at that time. So a couple of the changes that comes with this is the alley structures can be 25 feet high if you have a multifamily dwelling, you know, two family dwellings. But if you're treating it as an accessory structure, the height limit reduces down to, I believe, it's 20 or 22 feet. The changes, I'll just walk you through. The basement changes, the footprint of the front structure, looking at N Street, has increased because we keep the same lot occupancy. But the accessory structure is limited to 450 square feet lot area. So we added that square footage over here on the front of the property. Now we have you know, we used to have this connection and a very small first floor. Now we have a more meaningful first floor for this residence. And then the rear of the property, we had a garage and a connection to go up and down. But right now we just have a garage, which is a staircase above to the studio work den space upstairs. Second floor, of course, also got you know, got enlarged. Third floor got enlarged, and the studio space above the garage is just a study with a wet bar and a, you know, it's not a leasable apartment. It just belongs to the main primary structure. The rooftop terrace for the alley structure is also removed because accessory structures cannot have a rooftop enjoyment space. But we do keep the rooftop terrace on the front structure, which is really set back from the street and it's not going to be visible. Here we're showing only, you know, we're still keeping the punched window openings, but now that the layout has changed, the rear courtyard elevation has slightly, you know, changed. And like I said, the height of the accessory structure is now 22 feet as opposed to 25 feet, such as this. I think it actually looks, you know, better. It's more fitting. That's my 2 cents. And then a couple other things in here that as you go, the patio, the courtyard, we had a connector and a very small patio. Right now we have a small deck and impervious pavers, you know, just a lot more outdoor space for them to enjoy. And then last but not least, the front of the building has not changed. It's the same elevation. I just mentioned the courtyard elevation that has changed due to the, openings, the bathrooms and the layout inside, and the alley structure elevation changed. That's it from us. And then in the section, maybe it could make it clear that this connector is gone. So now you have a smaller structure at the alley side, but the height has not changed on the front structure. It's just it increased in footprint. I'm ready for your questions if something's not clear.
Thank you, Ghost Day. Commissioners, do any of you have questions regarding this project? I will note, while I give you the opportunity to raise your hands, that I have received multiple letters of support for this project already, for the revised project, and the committee did express support for this as well. And so I want to place that into the record. Seeing no questions from commissioners, we will offer the opportunity for the public to ask questions or weigh in. Please raise your hand if you'd like to do so. Okay, well, seeing no questions from the public regarding your request, then I would like to move that ANC 2G support the applicant's request for minor modifications to the approved plans for 935 N Street Northwest pursuant to BZA order number 21183 in ANC 2G04. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second.
Motion is seconded by Commissioner Nigro. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of supporting this revised application, please raise your hand and respond with aye.
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 Any nays? The ayes have it. Our support is unanimous. So thank you, Gozday. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Plans.
So I believe the process for this one, this letter needs to go to Kathleen Beaton, for your support. So we'll get our lawyer involved to get the administrative approval.
Okay.
Thank you so
so
much. All right. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Next, we will continue with another project out of the Historic Preservation and Zoning Committee for 903 R Street Northwest, Unit 2. This is a request for special exception relief and the addition of a staircase. Looks like I have Beth Davis here with us. If there's anyone else here to present on this application, please raise your hand so I can move you over. Thank you. I'm promoting you to panelists.
Good evening. I want to apologize in advance. I have had very sketchy Wi-Fi today. So if I cut out a little bit, I would just ask that you be a little patient with me. I am not sure what is going on. They must have been working on lines in my neighborhood. Is Mr. Bosserman also here?
Yes, and we can
Okay.
hear you very well. So you're good.
Perfect. I did just reset my entire internet before I got on about 5 minutes ago. So hopefully that is gonna stay. Is it okay if I share my slideshow?
Yes, please go ahead.
Fantastic. First, my name is Beth Davis. I am here with the property owner, Mr. Bosserman. He is the owner of 903 R Street Northwest, Unit 1, and I am here to help him present BZA case number 280. This is the existing front of the property. Again, Mr. Bosserman lives in the upstairs unit number 1. It is an owner-occupied primary residence, and our project is to demolish the existing rear deck and access stairs and construct a 14-foot by 12-foot Trex composite deck, and also add an additional access stair that will be a spiral staircase. This is a minor relief request. We are asking for 3% over the by right lot occupancy, and we are intending to build within the existing footprint of the rear access stair. Prior to the beginning of construction on this rear access stair, this is what it looked like. The construction was started inadvertently without a permit. Mr. Bosserman was under the impression that a permit had been pulled. There was a little bit of confusion, and now he is with a different construction company, and they're going through the correct process, taking it to BZA for that minor lot occupancy issue. The proposed plan, as I mentioned, is just this new deck space with the existing, or with the new spiral stair. We do believe that this is in harmony with the zoning regulations. It's residential in use. The scale is minor compared to by right, and we do believe that the open spiral stair and deck will preserve air and sunlight for the neighbors on either side and the bottom unit. There is no, or there rather are no undue sight lines or window alignments with the neighbors. Is negligibly different than what was there previously. This is what the proposed elevation will look like. So the existing structural columns we intend to use, and then this spiral staircase will be installed. This is currently what is in place. The actual structure we are attempting to reuse, but if it can't be reused, it'll just be torn down and replaced with the new structure. We do believe that because the structure is based entirely in the rear yard and the open design, we won't have any, unnecessary visual bulk on the rear. As I mentioned previously, there will be no undue impact on light, air, or privacy for the neighbors. And we do believe that this small, thoughtful enhancement to the primary residence will be a benefit to the neighborhood. And as I'm sure you all are aware, we did take this to the Zoning, Planning, and Historic Preservation Commission late last month, and we were approved. It was, I don't remember how you guys term it, but it was recommended for approval at the full ANC by that committee. And with that, if you guys have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. And Mr. Bosserman is here as well if you have any questions directly of him.
Thank you, Beth. Commissioners, does anyone have any questions for Beth or Mr. Bosserman? And as Beth mentioned, this was received by the Historic Planning and Zoning Committee. They did recommend that the commission vote in support of this special exception relief request. Seeing no questions from commissioners, I will open the floor for any public questions or comments. So if you are on the public side, please raise your hand so we can recognize you and give you the capability to speak. I also want to read into the record, Matt did mention that we have letters of support from the project for several neighbors. That is great to hear. So thank you for sharing that. Commissioner Garrett, this is in your single member district. Would you like to make a motion regarding this application?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to move that ANC2G support the applicant's request for a special exception from subtitle E210.1, E5201.1A, and X901.2 to allow the construction of a one-story rear deck and spiral stair addition to an existing 2-unit flat at 903 R Street, Northwest Unit Number 2 in the RF1 zone.
Do we have a second?
I second.
The motion is moved by Commissioner Garrett, seconded by Commissioner Nigro. Is there any further discussion between commissioners? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of support of this requested relief, respond with aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? That support from the commission is unanimous. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Mr. Boss.
Thank you. I did want to say, you all have one of the, I've had the pleasure of presenting to a number of ANCs, and you all have one of the most efficient and you guys are so well organized. And I just wanted to say that as somebody who does this a lot, I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to commend you for that.
Thank you, Beth. That is an amazing compliment. And I know I can speak for all of our commissioners when we say we really appreciate that.
Absolutely. I wanted to wait till after we discussed it and voted before I said that, but I did want to say thank you very much and have a great evening.
Thank you, you as well. Next up, we will be discussing an NOI from the DC Department of Transportation. I know we have a presenter here. If you could please raise your hand so I can promote you to panelist.
Is Christoph here?
Christoph is not, but he told
What?
me someone would be here. Do we have a presenter from DDOT here with us? Please raise your hand if so. Seeing as we don't have anyone from DDOT here, Commissioner Nigro, I know you have been doing some work on this.
Yes.
I will preface that the committee, the Transportation Committee, did express support with this with some stipulations. So
Well, I've kind of changed it
Nigro-
up a little bit. We're not gonna do that motion.
Okay, Commissioner Nigro,
I think this through.
I'm gonna give you the floor if you want to talk about this.
Can you bring that? Could you have that? Can you bring it up, or do you want me
Yes.
to find it?
I can grab that.
Okay, because then I'm going to show you another screen thing on my screen too. Because unfortunately, everyone, this actually leads back to the jail. This is very sad. When I talk about it, this is actually very disturbing. So, as taxpayers, everyone should be disturbed. Okay, scroll down, Stephen, to the actual picture, to that one, the second picture. Right. Okay. So let me tell everyone what this is about here. So this is there's two previous NOIs, and I was the one who brought it up to DDOT months ago to say, oh, by the way, 51 New York Avenue is going to be a jail. Your NOI is not going to work. So then they changed it to make it, this is all about safety because a person was killed there at this intersection. So then they had to loop in Department of Corrections. The previous NOI, which both the Department of Corrections and this commission were all on the same page, is that the parking, there'd be no parking on 6th Street. Can you put that little arrow there, Stephen, where see it on 6th Street, right by the, keep going, no, down. No, and go right there, right there. So that parking was going to be gone. Everyone was on the same page. Ba-doop, right? And then we had our hearing and we lost, and there was discussion with Department of Corrections about how much parking they needed. So, okay, so remember this, the parking was going to be gone in this new NOI. Miraculously, DDOT wants to put the parking back. Now, Alex and other commissioners know, does DDOT ever put parking back? No, right? No. Okay, so take this down, Stephen. I'm gonna bring up my screen here. Hold on one second. Allow. Okay, now. Okay, y'all see this? So this is the reason why this current NOI exists. It has nothing to do with safety. Zero. Okay, so please, the whole thing is horrific. This is from the Department of General Services / Department of Corrections. This is the future jail here. And this is the parking that they require, right? See, this parking is now gone here. This, in reality, will not work when you actually measure it out. They need these spots. For this project to work, they need more parking. This NOI came from a push from the Department of Corrections. I don't care what people say about me, I know I'm right. So DDOT never puts parking back. So these cars, see how the little baby cars here? They actually don't fit like that, right? There's not enough space. And besides, you need to put the cross, and if they were to actually follow DDOT regulations with the crosswalks and all that, you'd have less cars. So this initiative is from General Services and Department of Corrections. It's disgusting how this is going down. So I'll leave it at that. Now, what I think should happen, and I've asked Christoph for further information about how this came about. I don't know if I'm going to get it. But when I said in the committee the other night was like, oh, well, we would like the residents to use it too. If you're bringing back parking, let everyone use it. Well, then I thought about it and I said, they're not going to allow that. I said, I'm going to put in to parking management that side actually become paid parking. Good, come and get me. I want that side to be paid parking. Have the Department of Corrections fight me out. But that is the only reason why this NOI exists. It is not for safety. Questions?
Thank you, Commissioner
I know I
Nigro.
sound crazy, but that is the reason. And as Christoph in the meeting the other night, Christoph said he could not comment. I know I'm right.
Thank you, Commissioner Nigro. Commissioners, please raise your hand. Commissioner Padro.
So Rochelle, I mean, your observation is right on. And if DDOT was following their own guidelines and regulations, they would be having 30 feet with no parking from 6th Street, 5th Street, along that south side of the 500 block of L Street. And I think that we should, at minimum, insist that they maintain that for safety purposes, for security purposes. You know, those 30 feet are supposed to be to ensure that drivers can see oncoming traffic and be able to navigate safely. So there definitely should be fewer parking spaces. And that angle, I don't think I've seen any parking anywhere in the city at that angle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very difficult angle to be able to get cars into.
So what would happen? Here's what I think would happen if parking miraculously comes back, right? Because that they want support for now. He wouldn't say, well, who can park there? He said, well, we can park there for, well, you know, the Department of Corrections is going to go after that, right? And so what would go on that side, on the 6th Street side, would be the vans. So right now they don't have space for all their vans. So so there's two things I'm conflicted, and Alex, maybe you can help me think this through. Either we say, okay, you want parking there? I want it only to be paid parking, or we say we don't support this. Stick with the original plan. Thoughts?
I guess I don't have the original plan, and
so the original NOI was no parking. So
on the
stick
6th
with
Street.
the no. Correct. Stick with the no parking.
Right. No, I think that's much safer. And because, you know, that entire intersection northbound past, as traffic goes past New York, you know, that's usually a mess because in the past there have been MPD vehicles parked there. And the vehicles are trying to squeeze in. You have the left turn lane onto L Street. With cars having to navigate around cars that are queuing to make a left turn. So it is much safer without the parking there.
Well, and he said so it was like this weird conversation that Christoph said that, well, they just found a way. Who finds a way? So they were told to do it. I stand by my words. Go ahead, Commissioner Berry.
They're going to park there no matter what. I mean, there was parking there prior to them reopening the jail. So we know that they took it away for that purpose. It's there for them. I mean, we could say no parking, but we're going to see a fence or we're going to see signs or something like that. We're going to see their vans parked there. I think that's something that, that I don't think we're going to get around because their Department of Correction, they have a lot of influence. I think they're going to make that exception for themselves. The city is going to do that for them. Yeah. When DC wants something done, they get it done. It doesn't matter what you want, so.
We can try though.
Yeah, we can try, but I'm just saying like, in terms of like telling them that if we put no parking signs there, it only applies to residents. It only applies to us.
Well, but the thing would be, as Alex said, we keep with the NOI before this new one, quote unquote. That was because the previous NOI was all about safety, no parking, because we are all safe. Whereas this NOI clearly is not safe, and it's per the influence of the Department of Corrections.
Okay.
I mean, it's not safe, right, Alex? I mean, I don't know, Nicole.
Again, they went to the trouble of coming up with an NOI to improve safety, traffic safety, and pedestrian safety at this intersection, which is riddled with accidents because of the dynamics in the traffic volume. And then, to suddenly say, oh, wait a minute, we're going to put it back again. What's the point? What's the point of coming to us in the first place to suggest safety improvements just to have them retracted? It makes no sense.
Well,
Yeah,
that's why, yeah.
at
Commissioner,
the very least, I'd like somebody to go on record saying that they think this somehow it makes it safer. So someone can be held responsible when in fact it's not safer. And Sheena, I agree with you that they're probably just going to park there anyway. But the neighbors, their lives are going to be really, really significantly altered by this. And at least if there's actually no parking there, they have a level of recourse. And if it's just rubber stamped and steamrolled through, the neighbors that live around there, they're just going to have to sit there and eat it. And it just doesn't seem right. And I really do think it's going to make it significantly less safe. And you're going to be talking about too many cars parked there in the first place. Police moving quickly, pulling out very quickly, going in all sorts of areas there in a variety of intersections that are already really unsafe. And I just don't think we could have any part of saying that we think it's okay, because I think it's going to be really bad, and that we should try to do everything we can to make sure that that intersection stays as safe as possible, and that the bad effects of the incoming jail for the immediate neighbors, that they are, as minimized as much as we can.
thank you,
Well,
Commissioner.
thank you for letting me think this through, because I was, as you know, it puts me into the rabbit hole, and I was struggling. And I think, at a higher level of thinking, that y'all didn't listen to the hearings and all that, like I was obsessed with it. But if the Department of Corrections feels that they can do their parking as I showed that on the screen without 6th Street, that's it. They don't need that 6th Street. That is what the BZA approved. Bading.
Any new or additional comments from commissioners before I offer the opportunity for the public to weigh in? Okay, if you are on the public side and you'd like to provide comment, feedback, or questions regarding this NOI, please raise your virtual hand so we can acknowledge you. Seeing no request for public participation, Commissioner Nigro, do you have a motion in mind that you'd like to make? The floor is
So I move that ANC 2G not support this current NOI, whatever the number is, and that DDOT not put parking there at all. No Department of Corrections parking, no paid parking, no residential parking. It needs to remain the NOI that we previously supported, whatever that number is.
The motion has been made by Commissioner Nigro, seconded by Commissioner Padro, to oppose this NOI and have no parking on 6th Street Northwest. Is there any further discussion by commissioners? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of opposing this NOI, raise your hand.
Maybe we might do a friendly, is it too late? Because the first part has to do with K Street, but we're not worried about them.
I'll
No.
let you
Okay.
make an amendment if you'd like.
Amendment is that this only relates to the ANC 2G06 side.
2G06 side.
Yeah, we are abstaining from the 6E side, whatever what that part is. So no comment.
Commissioner Padro, is that okay with you since you seconded that?
Great.
Thank you. So the motion on the floor is to oppose the NOI as it relates to the restricted parking on 6th Street Northwest near the new jail. All those in favor, raise your hand and respond with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes unanimously. Thank you all.
And I'm gonna thank you, everyone. So I'm gonna actually have my constituents back that up too with letter writing, because we have till May 2nd.
Thank you, Commissioner Nigro. We'll continue forward with our agenda, and next up is Bon May renewal of their restaurant license. This is license 126 or Abra 126411 and 2G02. Do we have a representative from Bon May here with us to share anything? Please raise your hand if so. It does not look like we have anyone from Bon May here with us today. I will say that the ABCL committee did recommend that we support the renewal of their license, and this is in single member district 2G02. So Commissioner Padro, I'm not sure if there's any comment or insight you would like to share with the commission.
Yes, I'm happy to share that this license was issued in advance of the ability for the business to actually open. They were dealing with this was previously Hanuman by the same chef and some of the same ownership team. They subsequently changed the name, slightly changed the concept of On My. They got their license approved. They only opened less than a year ago. And we've had no community complaints. There have been no negative actions taken by APCA, and the committee did vote unanimously to support the renewal of the license. So I'll go ahead and make a motion that ANC 2G support the renewal of the APCA license for Bon Mai, and that we report that support to the ABC board and APCA.
Do I have a second?
Second.
The motion to support the renewal of the license for Bon May has been made by Commissioner Padro, seconded by Commissioner Shea. I do want to pause really briefly. Any commissioners have any questions on this license? And then I do want to also really briefly, are there any members of the public that have a question about the renewal of the license for Bon May? Seeing no hands raised or further discussion, all of our commissioners in favor of support of the renewal of this license, raise your hand and respond with aye.
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 Any opposed? That support for renewal of the Bon May license passes unanimously. Thank you, Commissioner Padro. Up next on our agenda is another renewal license for single member district 2G02. This is for Giant number 2376. So our local Giant store. I know there is no representation from Giant here tonight. The committee did also recommend that we support the renewal of this license. And so Commissioner Padro, I'll once again give you the floor in case there is any insight you want to share with the commissioner public before we move a motion here.
Certainly, and Giant obviously is one of our most frequented businesses. Their activities have not had any negative impact, on the community. There have been brought to my attention about their operations, specifically related to their APCA license. There have been no negative findings in the investigative history in the past 2 years, from APCA, and pleased to offer a motion that the commission support the renewal of the APCA license for Giant, and that we report that support to the ABC board and APCA.
The motion on the floor is to support the renewal of Giant's liquor license. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion to support the renewal of Giant's liquor license has been made by Commissioner Padro and seconded by Commissioner Garrett. Are there any questions from commissioners before we vote? Seeing none, are there any questions from the public before we vote? Please raise your virtual hand if you'd like to provide comment or questions regarding this license renewal. Seeing none, commissioners, please raise your hand and respond with aye if you're in support of the renewal of this license.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes carry, and support for the renewal of Giants liquor license is unanimous by ANC 2G.
I apologize if this happened and my brain just shorted out. Did somebody second it?
Yes, Commissioner Garrett
Okay,
did.
okay, I apologize. Sorry.
You're A-okay.
It's been a long
Next
day.
up on our agenda is another liquor license renewal. This is for the Marriott Marquis, located in 2G05, renewal of a C hotel license, ABRA 093961. This is in Commissioner Barry's district. There are also no representatives from the Marriott Marquis here to present to the commission tonight. The ABCL committee did meet and discuss this application, and they recommended that the commission support the renewal of this hotel license. And so Commissioner Barry, I'm not sure if you have any other comments or feedback that you'd like to share with our fellow commissioners. And if not, I would welcome a motion if you have one.
Yeah, we had no real discussion about this renewal. We all supported it at the last meeting. Do you agree with that, Alex? You support that? You say that's the true characterization of what happened? So let me go to it. I'm sorry, pardon me. Okay, so I would like to move to make a motion to support Marriott Marquis renewal of C hotel license, ABRA number 093961 and 2G05 for a renewal of the C hotel license.
Thank you, Commissioner Barry. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
The motion is moved by Commissioner Barry and seconded by Commissioner Padro. Are there any further questions from commissioners? Seeing none, we will open the floor for public comment. Do any members of the public have questions or comments to provide regarding the renewal of the Marriott Marquis license? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All those in favor of supporting Commissioner Barry's motion in support of this renewal, please raise your hand and respond with aye.
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 The ayes have it. That motion for support for the renewal of the Marriott Marquis C hotel license passes. Next, on our agenda is another license renewal. This is for a CR license, ABRA 106205, located in 2G06, the Capital Burger. I also believe that we do not have representation from the Capital Burger here, unfortunately, tonight. We did ask that they join us and they declined. Commissioner Nigro, this is in your single member district, so I'm going to offer you the floor to fill us in on this renewal for the Capital Burger.
So the Capital Burger is good people at the Capital Burger, right? And as far as I know, they haven't had, at least from what I know, any sort of license problems. But when I talked to the representation, Stephen O'Brien, because Capital Burger does not have a settlement agreement, and I said to him, just to be fair to all of the other establishments that do on that block, that is a very busy block, as you know. We got Flirt, we got Flight, we've got Petite Cerise, they're all there, right? And the rest of them have settlement agreements, and he didn't want to do it. So, and I reminded him that when the things are flipped, right, the settlement agreements can be very handy, right? But for his client, Capital Burger, which is a very large, that's the Darden Group, right? For those who are familiar, he went. So I am interested in project, and because why can't they have a settlement agreement? We have trash concerns in that alley. They are part of that concern. And as Stephen McCarty knows about the Flirt, and that settlement agreement has come in very handy with Flirt and their trash problem. And all those restaurants, Kinship, all of them are all aware of what's going on, and they are being affected. So I don't, I don't pick and choose. If they're messing up that alley, they're all getting fined. That's the reality, what's going on over right now. And plus they have an outdoor space, Capital Burger, they have private parties outside, noise. So I don't understand why he did not want to consider it, but there it is. And so I would like to protest it. Thoughts?
Thank you, Commissioner Nigro. Fellow commissioners, does anyone else have any thoughts or comments regarding this renewal? Commissioner Barry?
I have a question. Why don't they have a settlement agreement? Is it optional?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't around when they first came in. So I'm
Mhm.
not sure what happened when this, I don't know. I mean, I can't answer that.
Okay.
So they opened up whenever they opened up. I wasn't commissioner, so. And Alex, do they don't have to, do they? I think that's what Stephen was gunning for. They don't have to. And I said, well, it'd be nice.
But
Fair.
you make the reasonable argument that if all of their neighbors have settlement agreements in place, then it would be only fair to ask them to enter into one, and you're not asking for anything out of the ordinary.
Correct.
You're asking for a basic good neighbor policy that ensures that that bad things won't happen.
Correct. And you never assume that they won't. And he is when we had this conversation, he is well aware things can go down the wrong way very quickly with whatever establishment. Right. And you've seen that, Alex, for years, and you don't, unfortunately, you can't trust anyone. So
Commissioner Garrett?
Just for clarification, Commissioner Nigro, you're recommending to protest it, not just because that they don't want to enter to a settlement agreement, but there have been issues with trash and what are the other issues?
Oh, no. They're kind of the big trash problem is Flirt, right? But they have also gotten notation or whatever they call it. I don't know. I don't think they got the big fine that day, but they got reminders from the DPW. So no, it's just that they really just need a settlement agreement.
So there,
But yeah, I guess that's in order to be able to protest, we have to be able to make a clear argument that there are adverse impacts to peace, order, and quiet that are resulting from business in order to be able to protest. So you have to have something that we can.
I do
Yeah,
think
that's the
trash
point
is
that
a
I was.
concern, and yeah.
Let's reel it back in. Commissioner Shea?
Oh, sorry, Howard, let me let you finish your thought, and I apologize.
Oh, no.
No,
Commissioner Garrett?
Yeah, that's what the point that I was really trying to make is that I don't think that we should. I agree with your concerns, but I think for us to have a little bit more meat outside of just us protesting it because of them not entering into a settlement agreement, we should make the cons evident as to why they should be in one, along with all the other businesses, some issues or fines or notifications that they've had with prior issues for it to also add a little bit more weight to it. But I don't think it's sufficient enough just to say because they didn't enter into a settlement agreement, because that is not mandatory.
Well, I know they got dinged by DPW, but it wasn't the big ding. So, I mean, they just have that big outdoor space there. I mean, I'm not sure how, legally what, I mean, I know it's Stephen O'Brien and he didn't want to do it. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Nigro.
I'm sorry, Nicole.
Hold on. Commissioner Barry had her hand up first. Commissioner Barry, did you have an additional comment?
Yeah, I was thinking like, so if they do something and that we could fine them for, maybe we could say, because you did this, we're going to put you into a settlement agreement, as a consequence. And maybe that could be like a reason for him to enter into it, because then he could kind of set his boundaries, like what a consequence might look like from the ANC.
Well,
that way we're not, I don't know, like you said, like, we're trying to make them be in it just because like all of their neighbors are. Do their neighbors know that they're not in a settlement agreement? I mean, they do now. They know now. Because
they all talk. I don't know if they've thought about some of it. I mean, but I have to go back to DPW and see what the official ding was. That this one weekend was kind of a trouble weekend and they all were affected. So
Right, and they stay open. They have, they have good hours and a large crowd, especially in the summer. So I think what we could say to them is, okay, we understand that you don't want to do the settlement agreement. I mean, possibly this is, what you would like to say. I don't know. But if something does happen, we're going to require you to do a settlement agreement or something like that. I don't know.
And we can't, because the protest date is, I guess, a couple of weeks from now. So
Yeah,
it's
this
either
is
now
kind
or
of our only
never.
bite at
So,
the apple, right?
huh?
Our
Commissioner
only
Shea?
bite at the
Yeah.
apple.
Yep.
So, and I do think there's grounds based on like adverse impact of peace, order, and quiet, especially with the rat issues. I do think this is something that we should really try to see if they can do. I don't think we can really craft the motion in such a way that this is dependent upon, this no vote is dependent upon not entering into a settlement agreement by such and such a date. I don't know if we can do that or not. But I would agree that that this is something that we should be going for. And this is, I mean, the rat issue in the city is out of control. We've been hearing in the news that it's going to be worse than it was last year. I don't even know how that's possible. I saw the email from the lawyer and was a little bit surprised by it. And I don't know if there's maybe just a thought that like we don't have, this is just going to get rubber stamped, so we don't have to. But I think that as ANCs, we need to do our best to at least advocate for neighbors and neighborhood concerns and make sure that we're sharing with ABCA those concerns and how we believe we could address them, and that we were not successful, communicating with this establishment to get a settlement agreement that we thought would benefit the community in place. And maybe we can reach out to residents so that they can also think about whether or not they want to be reaching out to ABCA to share their concerns about this. But I don't know. Maybe they will be willing to enter into an agreement with us.
Unfortunately, I think Stephen O'Brien was playing his heavy hand and his title or
Yeah.
who he is with this. And that was unfortunate, because there's no malintention, and he knows these settlement agreements come in very handy. So
Can we just craft a general one, just a very simple one that doesn't have hard consequences because they haven't violated anything, and just say, hey, we want you to sign this, all your other neighbors have it, and just see if he would be like open to doing that? Because like forcing him to do it when he doesn't have to, most likely when people want control, they're not going to just give it up. So let's just, do something friendly and have him sign it so that we have some type of boundaries established already for the community.
So I'm feeling uncomfortable voting to protest unless we actually have some DPW action that we're basing this on.
Okay.
I mean, so what is it? So what there was some citation, you're saying.
Well, he talked that day it went down with flirt, and the whole alley was horrific at that time. And so when I talked to the inspector, he said he actually talked to Capital Burger too. I don't know if they got fined though. That I'd have to find out.
Yeah, I mean it's sounding like we needed to have had our ducks in a row here. And we don't.
Well, can we like say something? Can we like protest, and if I get it together the next day, and then if not, we just pull it and that's it?
Well, how do we pull it? Well, we'd have to vote on it next month to pull it.
No, can I just pull it from not? We don't have to vote on it to pull it.
If the letter wasn't submitted, then there wouldn't be a protest, right? Isn't that?
That's what you're saying. Okay.
Can we craft the motion in such a way that it is, we oppose, unless we, I don't know. I'm not very smart tonight, but
If Commissioner Nigro has grounds for protest, Commissioner Nigro can make a motion of protest with the stipulation that we will withdraw the protest if we enter into a settlement agreement. So Commissioner Nigro, if you have grounds for protest, I would like to make a motion to do so. I'm going to encourage you to make that.
Yeah. And so I think it'd be for, whatever in the settlement is called, the, not sanitation. What does it say? Hold on. I apologize. One second. Where is it that public space and trash. There you go. Okay. All right. I move that ANC 2G protest the license renewal for Capital Burger based on public space and trash conditions currently near the restaurant. And also that we suggest that they sign the settlement agreement to be in line with their neighbors. That
Do
makes
I
sense.
have a second?
I have a question. Sorry,
Yes.
just a clarifying question. Are the current conditions an issue, or it's been in the recent past?
I didn't walk down the alley yet this week, not this week. So in the recent past,
recent.
yes, very
Is
recent.
is the recent past within the last year?
Oh, wow, it's been like 2 weeks. It's been, this whole alley is a trouble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I have a second for the motion on the floor to protest this license? Do I have a second?
I
Commissioner
have a
Knight.
comment. Is that appropriate?
Go ahead, Commissioner Garrett.
I will second this motion on the basis that we protested based upon prior negligence of the restaurant, based upon prior negligence with trash, and not based upon what could have happened. If that's what we're doing the protest on, then I'll second the motion.
Oh, it did happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Second
not making it up.
motion. I'll second.
The motion has been moved by Commissioner Nigro and seconded by Commissioner Garrett. The motion is to protest the Capital Burger renewal of their liquor license based on public sanitation and order as it relates to recent trash incidences with DPW. Is there any further questions or comments from commissioners?
So
Does
they didn't,
anyone?
I have one. They didn't get any fines or anything
Well,
like
that I don't know. I'd have to check with the inspector. He talked to me about the Capital Burger too, but I was completely focused on Flirt. That was the instigator of all this. But he mentioned Capital Burger, and the manager said to me that they got talked to by DPW.
Are there any questions or comments from the public? If so, please raise your hand. Nobody on the other side has a question. Commissioner Shea, I'll give you the floor.
I'm sorry. I know we need to move on. So does the language for the motion include something about, barring a settlement agreement that we are objecting to this? I just want to make sure that the language is tight and that we're clear on it.
That sounds like a friendly amendment, Commissioner Shea. Is that the case?
Yes.
Commissioner Nigro, would you accept that
I
friendly
do.
amendment to
Yes.
modify your motion in the event
Yes.
that we enter into a settlement agreement that ANC 2G will withdraw its protest? Thank
Yep.
you. Friendly amendment accepted. And so we will go ahead with the vote. The motion again on the floor is to oppose the renewal of Capital Burger liquor license based on grounds of public order and sanitation in regards to recent trash issues in the alley. The motion has been made by Commissioner Nigro, seconded by Commissioner Garrett, with a friendly amendment by Commissioner Shea. All those in favor of this protest motion, please respond by raising your hand and signify with aye. Motion passes unanimously, and we will communicate that to APCO.
Thank you.
Up next, we have another ABCA license. This is an application for a medical cannabis retailer license, ABRA 093961. This is in 2G02 for Hush Boutique. This may feel like deja vu for some folks because we did vote on a previous iteration of this license, but it's my understanding that the license status changed from originally being considered a social equity applicant to a standard applicant. So this is, again, another medical dispensary.
It's the other way around.
It's the
Stephen.
other way around? Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. So for the record, this is actually a new application and this is a change in status. So the application that we voted on for Hush Boutique at the March ANC 2025 meeting for 2G, we voted on them on this license as a standard applicant. They are now being considered a social equity applicant. And I know Commissioner Padro, we expressed support last time, and I know you've worked with them previously. I'll also add that the ABCL committee did recommend support for this medical cannabis retailer license as well. So Commissioner Padro, or if we have somebody from Hush Boutique, please raise your hand so we can allow you to present. I don't believe we do. So Commissioner Padro, if there's anything you'd like to share with the commissioners, the floor is yours.
Sure. Carlos Fields is the owner of the business, and I was actually at the establishment when ABCA had called to ask whether or not he wanted to move forward with his standard application rather than the social equity application, which is the social equity application is much less expensive, and so he opted to move forward with the social equity application. And so there is no difference in the hours, in the operation. Everything is identical to what we had approved last month. So, and the committee did agree to support it. So I'll go ahead and make a motion to support the social equity medical cannabis retail application for Hush Boutique at 1512. I believe is the address, 9th Street Northwest, and then we report that support to the ABC Board and ABCA.
I'll second the motion.
Motion is made by Commissioner Padro, seconded by Commissioner Garrett to support the application for this medical cannabis retailer. Are there any further questions from our commissioners? Are there any members of the public that would like to ask a question about this license application? Please raise your hand. Seeing no questions from the public, we will move to a vote. Again, the motion on the floor is in support of Hush Boutique medical cannabis retailer license application. Those in support, please signify by raising your hand and responding with aye.
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 As Commissioner Barry, are you in support?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I'm in support.
thank you. And Commissioner Shea is abstaining. So that vote is 5 in the affirmative and 1 abstention, and that vote does pass. We will communicate that support for this medical cannabis retailer license to ABCA. Last on our business agenda for tonight is our final ABCA related item. This is for Play DC, and they are requesting, they have basic, if I'm correct, they have two issues before us today. One is a request for a change in hours. So they have a substantial change to, they're requesting a substantial change to their existing liquor license, and they are also up for renewal. Is there anybody from Play DC here to present? Commissioner Shea, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I thought the renewal was in September.
Oh, I'm sorry. So thank you. So this is just a request for change in hours. Is there anyone from Play DC to present to us this evening? I will note that the committee, the ABCL committee, is strongly opposed to the approval of this request. And that I know in the past, this commission has also had serious concerns with this liquor license for Play DC. And so seeing that we have no representation from Play DC to speak with us or engage the community tonight, Commissioner Shea, I know you've been working on this one. This is in 2G03. Do you have any comments or concerns that you would like to share with your fellow commissioners in regards to this request?
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, I have received many messages from many members of the community with concerns about this, probably more than anything else that that I've experienced to date. Play DC did enter into a settlement agreement before I was ANC. I want to say it was a few years ago. Community members have also shared with me that they don't believe that they have lived up to the tenets of the settlement agreement, which is another concern. I expect that we'll also, when we open it up for public comment, that we'll hear from many people. And I would not feel comfortable with granting a request for extended hours, given that the concerns that have been ongoing really have not been addressed. And it's been very difficult for the folks that live along that stretch of Q Street and Marion Street in particular have been really impacted by this.
Thank you, Commissioner Shea. Commissioners, I know Commissioner Padra, Commissioner Nigro, you may have comments on Play DC. This isn't our first time speaking about our concerns at the commission level. Anything
A mess.
share?
They've been a mess forever.
So can we have some, a report out from the committee deliberations?
Yeah, we do have Russell Reed here. Russell, I'm gonna allow you to talk and hope that you can share some insight from the committee deliberations with us. If not, I can also pull up our committee report. But Russell, it looks like you can unmute. So
yes, yeah. Hi, Stephen, and thank you for all of you being here tonight. Yes, we've received a tremendous amount of input on this particular issue, and there have been repeated violations of the settlement agreement. There has been a great amount of community outreach to us. I know Commissioner Shea. There is clearly an issue here that while and as you saw in my report, we recommended that you protest this application, and that subject to them reaching out, soliciting, and getting community support for what is a rather, I think, extreme Sunday night, into Monday morning live entertainment license is something that doesn't seem very tenable. But we did recommend that you would protest this application contingent on them demonstrating community support before the the protest period ends.
thank you, Russell. Any other questions, comments from our commissioners? Commissioner Shea has her hand raised. I'm going to call on you first, and then we'll go to you, Commissioner Padro.
Thank you. I'll be brief. I just wanted to share that I also had a conversation with Commander Pulliam about this from MPD3, and he shared concerns that they did not have enough resources to even staff during the existing operating hours, and they did not feel that they would be able to address these additional hours, and they had concerns about this as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Shea. Commissioner Padra?
So one of the major violations of the settlement agreement is that they have not been able to get the reversible detail officers that were required under the settlement agreement. So that has contributed to the sense of lawlessness that is being experienced in the neighborhood by patrons of the establishment after closing. And as Commissioner Shea indicated, unfortunately, MPD does not have enough officers in its normal contingent to be able to try to manage the situation there, much less ask volunteers to staff RDOs, because that is a volunteer detail. They have asked the community, Play DC has invited the community to a community meeting. Commissioner Shea, I think you can probably share some information about that. Because that's what the committee recommended, that if indeed they felt that they should be entitled to hours that had been previously agreed to by the commission. It's important to note that those hours were included in the settlement agreement, but with all of the incidents that have occurred and the inability of the RDO to be staffed, if they want to get community support and have the community, tell us that we should be, supporting their increase in hours, then it's obviously up to them to be able to put on a convincing case. But they have support from the community for increasing their hours of operation.
Thank you, Commissioner Padro. Commissioner Barry?
Hi, Mr. Reed. Thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you if Play DC was able to get back to you with whatever type of engagement they had done, a report on that. Because I know that suggestion was made at the meeting, but like I said, my opinion is a lot of times when there's a complaint, people will, definitely get out and voice that. But I wanted to give them, I wanted to give them the opportunity to do community engagement themselves and to get back with us to let us know, or to let you know, if they had any support. Was that present or there was none? Because I know they're trying to increase their hours to 2 a.m. on Monday. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Mhm.
I've not received any information from them
Mhm.
about anything that's happened, but yes, that my understanding is yes, the application is for 2 a.m. on Mondays.
And they wanted to increase it 1 hour on Sunday, start open at 7 and close at 2. So are we giving them the extension in the morning and just avoiding saying, no, you can't stay open with live music from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. on Monday morning?
Well,
Or
as you recall, we didn't have an issue with the early morning
Mhm.
opening, but yes, there was an issue with extending from 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm sorry, 2 a.m. on Monday morning.
Okay, I do think that that is extensive, but I also think we should speak to them and see if they have done any type of engagement. And I'm surprised they're not here, given they knew what our feedback was. So
No, and I did remind them about today, and so I am too.
okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions from commissioners?
No question, but we do have a couple comments in the chat if someone wants to read those off regarding this.
Commissioner Shea, would you like to read those?
Sure. We have one from someone identified as Shaw Community. I would like to submit comment to be read aloud during the public comment period on Play DC. There is strong opposition to this extension of hours among the neighboring residents. There has been continued noise and disorderly conduct around this establishment, as well as previous suspensions of this license for a variety of reasons, including a shooting taking place within the establishment. Under ABCA's standards, there has been a negative effect from this establishment on peace, order, and quiet, including noise, and litter, as well as negative impact on residential parking, vehicle, pedestrian safety. Knowing how much weight APCO will give to the ANC's views on this, we hope that the ANC will join with their constituents in opposing this extension of hours. I know that there was a triple shooting of patrons that were seen leaving, and they were able, they were definitely patrons from there at closing. I am also aware, this is me just speaking for myself now, there was an incident in October, I believe, where when play closed and patrons left, they immediately went into the pizza place next door. And I've seen the video of the incident. There was a fight that broke out that may have been a staged fight. It may have been a fight, and patrons rushed and they broke the registers and they stole money. And the security from Play DC actually helped remove their patrons from the restaurant, but it caused several $1,000s worth of damage. And the pizza place actually changed their business hours as a result of it. So they're really having an impact on the community. We have one more comment that I'll read. This is from Josh. Issues other businesses on the block have experienced. 1, fights from inebriated patrons of play spilling into their establishments. 2, constant illegal valet that takes up parking spaces, causing major traffic and safety issues and deprives the city of revenue. 3, multiple shootings that have resulted in decreased business to other establishments on the block. And 4, pest control issues because they have no pest control, 4, pest control issues because they have no pest control plan or service company in place, not to mention people actually dying and being seriously injured.
Thank you, Commissioner Shea. Are there any other questions or comments from our commissioners? I am going to open the floor for public participation. I know we've got a couple of chats and comments that have been submitted and entered into the record. But if anybody else would like the opportunity to weigh in on the public side, now is your chance. So please raise your virtual hand. Seeing none, Commissioner Shea, it seems like we may be in agreement, and I'm going to encourage you to make a motion on this if you have one.
Thank you. I move that ANC, hold on one moment, sorry. Give me one moment. I move that ANC 2G protest the application by Play DC Restaurant and Lounge LLC, ABRA-112274, located at 1541 7th Street Northwest, for a substantial change to their retailer's Class C tavern license. The applicant has requested an extension of operation hours, alcohol service, and indoor entertainment on Sundays into Monday morning. Our protest is based on the following grounds: adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet, including noise disturbances and late night activity; adverse impact on residential parking, vehicular, and pedestrian safety, given ongoing concerns about congestion, double parking, and sidewalk obstructions near the premises; adverse impact on real property values in the surrounding residential areas due to the extended operating hours and cumulative effects of nightlife establishments in such close proximity. ANC, and I ask that ANC 2G designate me, Nicole Shea, ANC for 2G03, to represent the commission in all proceedings before ABCA related to this application.
Second.
The motion on the floor to protest has been made by Commissioner Shea and seconded by Commissioner Garrett. Are there any further comments, questions, or discussion regarding the motion on the floor, which is to protest the request for a substantial change in hours by Play DC, and that is based on the grounds of impact on peace, order, and quiet, impact on residential parking, vehicular, and pedestrian safety, and adverse impact on real property values in the surrounding area. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor respond with raising your hand and signify with aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. I will note for the record, we lost Commissioner Padro for 2G02. So we are now at 5 commissioners. We are still at a quorum, and all 5 commissioners have voted in favor of protesting this request for a substantial change in hours. That motion does pass. That is the last topic on our business agenda tonight. We only have our information agenda, and that is to remind all of our neighbors and constituents that our next ANC meeting is at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, May 8th, 2025. That's going to be hosted via Zoom again, and that information is also on our website, anc2g.org. Please keep an eye on our website for updates on all of our committee meetings, as well as all of our commission meetings. All of those meetings are public, so please attend, please participate, and they're all scheduled out for the rest of 2025. So you'll be able to see any committee meeting or commission meeting for the rest of the year, and you'll be able to plan that for your calendars. Without any further discussion or questions or comments from commissioners, I would entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting at 8:33 p.m. Do I have a second?
Second.
Actually, the motion has been supported by Commissioner Barry. Do I have a second? Since I entertained that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Shea. Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we will adjourn this Thursday, April 10th, 2025, public meeting of ANC2G at 8:33 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all for being here, for joining us, and for helping us run a very smooth meeting. We'll see you all next month on Thursday, May 8th.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
And Passover.